Hello, this is Rex from Rex Recites. This video is going to be a little departure in the format from our usual formats. So first of all, I'm going to direct you to a poem called Jabberwocky by Lewis Carrol from Through the Looking Glass. And you probably are somewhat familiar with this poem. It's a very famous nonsense poem. We're going to do this first and then do a follow-up from it in just a few minutes. Jabberwocky by Lewis Carrol. 'Twas drilling and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mommy ras outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jub bird, and shun the bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the maximal foe he sought. He rested neath a tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumping back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, O my beamish boy. O frabjous day, Callooh Callay, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas drilling and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mommy ras outgrabe. Okay, now what we're going to do is take the poem Jabberwocky and apply the rhyme and rhythm schemes to another subject and another poem. And this poem I wrote many years ago when I was teaching English, and out of my 21 years of teaching English, I suppose that I taught the play Julius Caesar some 12 or 15 times. So anyway, I wrote this poem which I called Caesarwocky because I followed the rhyme and rhythm schemes of Jabberwocky and tried to make sense of the nonsense poem words in Jabberwocky. So here we go. I should say before I start that regardless of how fresh or how stale you are in your mind about the plot of Julius Caesar, don't worry too much about it because the poem should flow pretty easily if you just realize that in general the empire was a turmoil and people were at each other's throats and a lot of troubles going on like this. So here we go with Caesarwocky. 'Twas springtime and the Roman crowds did push and jostle in the street. All smelly were the babbling dowds, and the fickle men did reek. Beware the braggart king in Brutus, the heels that clout, the jails that hold. Beware the right-hand men, and cuss Antonius brave and bold. So with his Saxon knife in sight, the pseudo-humble foe he sought. Yet stood he in the stormy night, soliloquized and thought. After he had preened and crone, the braggart king with eyes of God sat smugly on his royal throne, destined for a bed of sod. 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the core, the bloody knives went in and out. With spunk galore and smeared with gore, he turned the crowds about. And hast thou slain the would-be king? Watch for my mob, my Brutus coy. O Ides of March, Calang, Caling, Antonius sang in joy. 'Twas springtime, and the Saxon brave did run and scramble out the gate. All chastened was the traitor knave, and the country full of hate. As I said at the beginning, we have a little different format today. I want to point out a few things to you. Since you've heard both the poems, now you can see them both on the screen. And to point out these 2 or 3 things, I'm going to be referring to the text as we do it. Now, all of the words in Jabberwocky, of course, are nonsense words, and you can put any meaning to them if you want to. But if you notice, and I want to stress this, that I've kept the same rhythm and rhyme scheme in Jabberwocky. For example, look at the first verse. 'Twas springtime and the Roman crowds. 'Twas billing and the slithy toes. And this is true all throughout the poem. The same rhythm and rhyme schemes throughout. And I think that this poem, after the kids had been studying Julius Caesar, and being presented with this at the end of the studying of the play, that this was quite meaningful to them, and it showed them also some elements about working with language and linguistic finagling around and so on and so forth. And if you will look on the web, you'll find that there are many so-called parodies of Jabberwocky, but needless to say, mine is not quite a parody because it tells a real story about Julius Caesar, about the play Caesar. But naturally, mine is better than the others that I saw on the line. If you would like a copy of the poem Caesarwocky, because it exists nowhere else, if you'll just write me a note to my email address, trexrecites@gmail.com, I will email you back with an attachment containing the poem that you can print out. Thank you. This is Rex from Rex Recites, and please subscribe below if you haven't done so. Thank you.